Really coming down? Well, thanks for the use of your telephone. And thanks for the coffee.
Not at all. Would your men like some coffee?
Well, I'm sure they would. Thanks anyway, but I don't think we better take the time. Oh,
I don't think we better pay any actors to come in here and accept those coffee cups. Hello, I am Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven, and this is my watch of the original supernatural soap opera, Dark Shadows. We're so close to episode 100. And unless you missed the announcement at the end of episode 95, you know this is the beginning of 1 day per episode. One thing that I want to do in this recording is we'll start sprinkling in at least one piece of feedback, if we've got it, for every episode. And the cool thing is, this week, we got a new viewer, I suppose. I started to say listener. That's my habit. We got a new viewer over on YouTube to these Dark Shadows discussions, and I'm loving their feedback. So I wanted to bring some of this in for you. J2299-G6N. That's our new viewer. And man, they hopped in with both feet and just started watching it all. I want to scroll back here to their first comment. They didn't comment until about episode 3. Yeah, we'll start with this one. They say that both actors who play Sam Evans had drinking problems that eventually got them fired. By the way, there's no supernatural occurrences until around episode 60. Of course, J2299, we know that now because you have caught up in a hurry. It's really, really impressive. Okay, and then they commented on episode 5 and said the reason for the difference in quality is the indoor scenes are videotapes and the outdoor ones are film. And I commented back and said, so someone explains this to me eventually, that they filmed them and then had to record them onto videotape while they were projected, which is why it looks so blurry. And they replied, no one had ever done outdoor before. And since it was live on tape, it had to be done this way. You'll see many bloopers, prop problems, etc. As one did on all shows then, even some primetime shows were done this way. It's around 1969 when Dark Shadows utilized the now crude, then state-of-the-art editing. So it wasn't until 1969 that they actually had edited episodes. Before then, it was just live to tape, basically. They were filming it like a play. It would have been impossible to go parallel time live. By the way, my favorite part is the first time we go, well, you know what? That's a spoiler. I'm not even going to mention that. All right. They've got a favorite part that they mentioned in the show. We'll get there eventually, friend. J2299G69. I appreciate you joining us. And I'm hoping that you were enjoying being all caught up. All right. Let's get into this episode.
My name is Victoria Winters. Collinwood seems 1,000 miles away tonight. Yet my only hope is that someone is driving from there to pick me up in Bangor and rescue me.
Because she thinks she's with a killer. She thinks that it's all Burke Devlin's fault. The problem is the man probably responsible for that pin she is so worried about having discovered is the one that she's expecting to come save her.
Has he any idea that what you suspect?
No, I don't think so. But Roger, I just couldn't face that long drive back to Collinsport with him, knowing that perhaps he was a murderer.
I don't blame you a bit.
I mean, to be fair, the entire time that you've known him, he's been a convicted murderer. So, I mean, it was homicide, I think, not murder, technically. But, like, he killed someone, supposedly went to jail for it years ago before you ever met the man. So, like, don't be so shocked at the very idea.
Are you all right? You don't have anything to worry about with me.
Except she does, sir. She does, in fact, very much have something to worry about with you, friendo. Good cold open, I suppose. Excited to see what comes of this episode. I will mention quickly here, J2299G69 said about episode 72. They had been really binging them. Man, I love your reactions, but could you please stop the 5-character roundup in every reaction? It's too much. Thanks. Keep up the good work. I told them very honestly, I don't know if I'll get over it until the show does. I'm assuming at some point the nature of production will change and the cast size will vary. But genuinely, we're over, I don't know, what are we up to? Almost 100 episodes. I started to say we're over 100. We're up to 100, and still it has been very, very regimented. 5 episodes or 5 characters or less. And I think it is interesting to use it to guess at what the final scene might be or what the twist of the episode might be, because we know what characters it could be. And so it's like it's a guessing game. It makes every little episode a mystery. I do understand if you're binging, 80 episodes in a week, it might have been annoying. Sorry about that. I wonder where else we're going to go in this episode. We'll stay in this car for probably most of it, but where in Collinsport will we go?
If I were you, Vicky, I wouldn't mention the pen to anyone.
I have to.
Well, it's such a flimsy piece of evidence. Might have lost it there several days before that sad event, or even afterwards.
I don't believe that for 1 minute, and I don't think you do either.
Well, perhaps not. But I would hate to ask that the case be reopened on such a weak claim. You know, Burke is a vindictive man. All it'll do is make an enemy for you.
On the other hand, something has to be done. Perhaps I should talk to Mrs. Stoddard.
I would much prefer you didn't.
Yeah, I bet you would prefer she didn't. Roger sitting here tampering with witness evidence. Tampering with witnesses, I suppose. I don't know. Man, Raj, I don't know if you're going to get away with this one.
Besides, there's one very important thing that you're overlooking. You no longer have the pen.
But I could describe Mr. Blair's pen, and Mr. Blair said that his was identical to Burke's.
And what Blair works for Burke. Do you think he would stick to that story once he knew the purpose of the questions?
I suppose he wouldn't. Well, the other one must be somewhere in Collinwood. We'll just have to look. And
Oh, now she's going to go on a hunt for the pen. Well, there you go. So someone pointed out that we have this like giant shift here. She gets locked in the room. We get Bill Malloy's ghost. And now we go back to straight soap opera. No ghosties ghoulies for a week and running now. Apparently what had happened was Josette's ghost was such a hit when it appeared that Dan Curtis and team started thinking about how to ingratiate more of the supernatural in it. The original plan was not for Bill Malloy's ghost to be there. Roger was going to get her out right away, apparently from the room. However, they decided to go the other way and have Malloy's ghost visit her, but it was such a late addition that all the following week's storylines, this thing of going to Bangor and everything and going back to the pen, all of that had already been written. So we don't get to go right back onto the supernatural train. They're just dripping us all the way to Barnabas. Wait, that's maybe a poet and I didn't know it. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get more ghosties is the point, but they're having to do this on the fly and ingratiate it or add it into their already planned storylines.
why are you turning off the main road?
When I drove up, there were a couple of places where the road had been almost washed out. I think this back road is going to be safer.
Really?
It's desolate. I don't see any light.
Well, I guess I'm going to get my answer as to what else we're going to see here. Somebody knocking on the door in the middle of the night. It'll be Elizabeth comes down and answers the door is my guess. Yeah. Matthew would have a key. Well, I don't know. Matthew would probably knock on the door too.
George, come in.
Sorry to trouble you so late. I'd like to use your telephone. My car stalled about a half mile down the road. The battery's shorted, so I can't use the radio.
Well, of course. Come into the drawing room. There's a fire in there. You can put your things by the door.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry to drag all this water in here.
Don't give it a second thought.
Well, that'll be convenient if the sheriff is actually listen. If the sheriff is there when Vicky and Roger get home, then Vicky's going to talk. I'm so excited.
Oh, by the way, is everyone else here at home?
Miss Winters is in Bangor, but the rest of the family are home.
Oh, that's good. They never get up that hill. The rain has caused a washout on the road. We'll fix it, though, as soon as it dries out a bit.
Well, thank you. I'll get you some coffee.
Oh, please don't bother.
No bother.
Well, I guess that's my answer to whether the Elizabeth's going to get home to confront the sheriff. Although, does that mean that the sheriff's going to be stuck up here until tomorrow morning?
Yeah, on the road south of the Oak Crossing, there's a block culvert, and the water's coming over the road like a river. Yeah, you ought to notify the barracks so they can broadcast a warning. Uh-huh, that's the place. Yeah, and if you want me, I'm up at Collinwood. Right. Good night.
I do love the idea that the sheriff's just going to use it as his personal office.
Be a sad day for Collinsport if anything happened to Collins Enterprises. It's the backbone of the town.
I know. That's why my father was disappointed when I came along.
How do you mean?
He wanted a boy, of course.
Oh, you've done right well, Mrs. Stoddard. He'd be proud of you.
I think he probably would be, honestly. So far, what I know about Elizabeth, I think Elizabeth has been, I mean, she's a bit of a loony bin sticking in that house for the last 18 years, right? And probably disappointed her father with her husband choice. But it seems like she ran the business pretty decently. Much better than Roger would have. Faux sure. Faux sure.
Well, the back road to Bangor is completely impassable. It's like a flash flood.
Well, nobody in their right mind would use that road anyway.
Well, there are still a few houses up there, but it is lonely country, all right.
Nobody in their right mind, including your brother, trying to save Miss Victoria Winters.
What is it?
Looks as though I were about to drive right into the Atlantic Ocean.
There's a pond there.
Yeah, better get out and take a look. Now, you stay right here.
Now, where do you think I go?
I might take a little time. I have to see if that water is too deep to go through.
Or abandon the car, maybe, and Victoria right there and let her wash out into the ocean. What's your plan, Roger? What's the plan here? Like, clearly you drove out onto the back road on purpose. It's there. The main road was not washed out. What's the plan?
Well, I scouted around and I found an abandoned shack not far back down the road.
Abandoned?
The door wasn't locked and it looked like it hadn't been lived in for years. And there was a stove.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Well, it's not so wonderful. I think the battery is short-circuited.
Was there any firewood in place?
No, but there were some crates and barrels. We could burn them if necessary. I think you better get out on this side. But wait a minute. I think I'll leave a note first in case anyone comes along.
It's going to come along this road.
Well, you never know. Maybe even Bill Malloy's ghost.
Please don't joke about things like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, genuinely, what are you going to do? Are you going to get into this cabin and scare her to death? Is that the plan?
It's really coming down. Well, thanks for the use of your telephone. And thanks for the coffee.
Not at all. Would your men like some coffee?
Well, I'm sure they would. Thanks anyway, but I don't think we better take the time. Oh,
I don't think we better pay any actors to come in here and accept those coffee cups. We're gonna get a ghosty ghoulie at Collinwood? It's been a minute. Nope, back to the abandoned shack.
Yeah. I think it's gonna catch. Yeah. Well, it's not exactly cozy, is it?
Oh, it looks like the bridal suite at the Waldorf Astoria to me.
I should have carried you over the threshold.
Forget you're already married.
As you can call it that. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way.
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that we are 96 episodes in and have never met this man's wife. She's away because of her troubles. So my guess is we'll meet her eventually. Maybe not. I don't know.
In fact, there's very little about David that I can answer. Any more than I can account for his friendship with Burke.
Isn't it strange that those two should become friends?
Oh, it's not at all strange. They're very much alike. They would both go to almost any extremes to get what they want.
But you're not like that at all. You seem very...
What? Miss Victoria Winters. I know that you have not been privy to the machinations of his mind in the same way that we, the audience, have been. But ma'am, you have watched him manipulate people, including his own son, including you.
I want someone to come through that door and rescue us from this dank and ill-smelling shack.
There, I agree with you. And what's the other one?
I want you to leave Collinwood.
Well, that's putting it up on Front Street, isn't it? Roger. Well, now we know, I guess, what his plan was. His plan was to get her alone so he can make an argument or bribe her or both.
Vicky, Malloy was jealous of me. Before I came back to Collinsport, he was entirely in charge of the Collins Enterprises. Naturally, when I came back, he had to be demoted. He would have done anything to get rid of me, even if it meant siding with Birkin and getting someone to testify falsely against me.
Those things are not mutually exclusive. It's not the right. Those you're putting some correlation in with causation. It is true that he would have benefited if you would have gone away. He would have benefited if you would have gone away because you're a leech on his friend, your sister. He would have benefited if you would have gone away because you don't do any work at the cannery and yet you draw a salary. He didn't try to kill Burke to get you away. That doesn't, no.
Are you positive he didn't see or overhear anything that you said to Blair about that pen business?
I'm sure of it.
What did he say when you told him you wouldn't go back to Collinsport with him?
Nothing much. He seemed annoyed.
Annoyed at not having those long hours to question you more.
No.
Oh, who's got long hours now? Who's got long hours available to bother and manipulate Miss Winters?
I still think I should go to the police.
No, you mustn't. You mustn't say anything. To Carolyn, to David, to my sister, or to the police.
But it's withholding evidence.
Then withhold it, you little idiot. Vicky, don't you see? I'm the one that Burke is trying to pin that on. I'm the one that he was trying to pin that manslaughter charge on. So in a sense, I'm more in the middle of this than anybody could possibly be.
In a sense, huh? In a sense, you're more in the middle of it. In reality, you're more in the middle of it. I am more convinced today than ever that you, sir, pushed that man off that hill. And maybe it was an accident, but I believe that it happened and you were there and it was the reason.
Well, I hope you weren't too worried, Miss Winters.
No, I wasn't.
Well, is anything wrong?
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, Vicky, so close. We did get our confrontation with the policeman, but still didn't take advantage of it. Boo. Good episode. That'll be the end of it. Very good episode. Excited to see what comes in the next few. 97, 98, 99, and 100 this week if you're a patron. And don't forget that patrons always get now 5 episodes weekly, 1 every weekday. If you are watching these on YouTube, you can become a patron. ArticulateCoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free. You can subscribe to an annual plan and you get a discount even on those prices. So check us out. Or if you're already on Patreon, just search for Articulate Coven Pod. Our main podcast mostly covers the works of Anne Rice, and we're just about to dive into the Talamasca. Season 1 is going to premiere on AMC and AMC Plus on October 26th, and we'll be talking about it every week. We're also headed to New Orleans to celebrate Anne Rice's life. The celebration of life is going to be on All Saints Day in New Orleans at the Orpheum Theater. Ashley and I have our tickets. We're super excited to go, and we're going to be with a lot of you all in person in New Orleans to celebrate Anne. If you can't travel, then you can check it all out right here. We're going to be posting videos about it. We'll be live streaming some. We're going to do an episode from New Orleans on my balcony. It's going to be a great trip. And that's all coming up the end of October, the beginning of November. Stay tuned. Episode 97 coming straight up.